Hey there, Sikon, bonjour, konnichiwa, leiho, assalamu alaikum. I hope everybody is doing okay in these days with COVID-19. It's been tough for a lot of us. I'm Canadian, and it looks like we're going to be the third country to start vaccinating people. It should be starting on Monday, or the vaccination should be starting around Wednesday next week. So that's great. Welcome to On Stuff with Jeff. We're gonna do another episode of Crypta Metallum, the second one, where I talk about my spooky heavy metal collection. And for I know a lot of people out there may not be very familiar with heavy metal, certainly not black metal, and there's going to be some black metal in this collection, this selection of music that I'm going to show you. So I feel like I should talk about that a bit, talk about what black metal is. In general, heavy metal, I would say the commonality across all genres of heavy metal is passion. Passion about what they're, passion about how they're playing, passion for the music, for the instrument, for the ideas that they're expressing, or just getting stuff out there. With black metal tends to delve a little deeper into the darker parts of the human psyche, and brings them up to, so you can, I suppose, exercise them, for lack of a better term. Although I guess that's an ironic term in the case of some forms of black metal. I know a lot of people out there enjoy more violent horror movies, like the Saw type of thing. That's not really my thing. I prefer a good old-fashioned ghost story when it comes to horror movies. More unsettling movies rather than outright, jump scares, stuff like that. So for me, when I listen to black metal, it's cathartic. It's a way of, like I just said, releasing all of the anxiety, stress, and sometimes anger that you build up during the day in a safe way, in a safe environment. A lot of these musicians, there is a form of black metal I might as well just say it. It's satanic black metal. I know some people, I hope that's not, really offensive for a lot of people, but I understand that it can be. I'm a non-believer, but I am a passionate spiritual humanist. I believe in the importance of religion as something very, very important to the human experience of life. So don't worry, I'm not here to, try to convince people to abandon their religion. I personally, every Christmas, I celebrate Jesus. He's a guy who did who went out of his way. He was a rebel. He flipped over the tables. He went and he healed the people that everybody says, don't go over there, they're sick, or don't talk to those people, they're she's a prostitute, or they're poor, that type of thing. That's the type of guy that I would want on my side. So understand that with a lot of the more satanic black metal, it's mostly a style. A lot of these people aren't even, and I'll get to one of those guys. Actually, the first selection I have, it doesn't really go in for that. It's just an aesthetic. It's a way of focusing something to aid in that expression and to communicate a lot of those hidden emotions. But some of these people, they do believe in it. The way, the modern Satanism, where it's all about being a selfish libertarian who indulges in the joy, the physical of life, not like, they don't really do any of the stuff that you hear about in movies. But I hope that kind of alleviate some concern from people who aren't familiar with black metal. You know, again, you know, you guys, I understand reservations. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are Muslim, and for people who aren't Muslim, it's hard to understand how the visceral reaction to the idea of somebody trying to profit. It's not simply, you know, it's not about the religion. It's more a deep sense of disrespect. It's a unconscious sense of disrespect to the father of the religion. You know, the voice, the person who brought the message that they believe came from God. So let's get on to the music. Enough with the philosophy. I don't know if you like that type of stuff. If you like me talking about philosophy or religion, you know, or history, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get to something. I think I'm probably going to talk about a few things. So here we go. Here's the first one. This is one of the only band collections. Collection of songs, and it's not like a whole album in itself. It's a selection of songs, like singles type of thing. The only one I have of a band. I remember I bought this. I was kind of like really curious about Bathory, and this is the only one they had, so I picked it up. It is called Jubileum III. Let's see, I will show you. It's really hard to see. There you go. Jubileum III. The final collection, of songs that they put out. I don't think they ever did. I don't think they did one after. They did a few more, albums after that, but I don't think they did another song collection. This one came out in 1998. The Bathory was the brainchild of Quorthon, or at least that's what he called himself. I can't remember what his real name was, but you know, with a lot of black metal, you know, the theatricality is a part of the band. It's like again, this comes down to this being an alter ego, a way to place all that negativity, you know, to express it in a healthy way. So they create stage names and presence for themselves. You know, sometimes they like put scary, you know, pasty white makeup on their face and run around in the woods, rah, you know. Bathory is one of the bands that is cited as being some of the progenitors of the black metal genre. They're from Sweden. A lot of black metal that people are familiar with mostly is from Norway. These guys and a couple other bands came out with a different style. Early on, black metal was kind of a bit like thrash and punk, with the distortion and everything turned up. So so everything sounded raw, and it sounded like it was done in somebody's garage or like on an old mono tape recorder type of thing. With Quorthon, the guy who was behind Bathory, he wasn't necessarily beholden to any particular style. He did not create black metal. For him, it wasn't, I'm going to create a new style of music. No, that's just how it worked out. Later albums, he kind of consciously, I suppose, created the Viking metal subgenre. So let's see. Let's review some of the stuff. Like some of the stuff is from Octagon, which wasn't, by most fans, wasn't really well received. It has some of the, one of the original unreleased tracks. This has songs from Blood on Ice, Requiem, and Octagon, and some unreleased stuff. And some of the stuff was, like different versions of the original composition. One of the more popular songs off of this was previously unreleased, "Satan, My Master." Some of the better songs on this are like, okay, in my opinion, the more black metal style, like Prostitution. Let's see, Witchcraft was pretty good. And then there's some other, there's like the more where he starts to use cleaner vocals and not so much distortion and a lot of keyboards and a lot of stuff like that. And that was songs like The Lake, right? That's what it's called, right? Yeah, The Lake, from, I think that's Blood on Ice. I can't remember which album that's from. And there's, you know, there's some other stuff, you know. So I know I would recommend I would recommend that I actually go out and buy some of their stuff instead of just this. But it wasn't too bad. Okay, so the next one on the subject of satanic black metal, this is a classic. Came out. This is it's called. The band is The Black. It's a Swedish black metal band. This one is their first of two full lengths. Came out in 1994 from originally from Necropolis Records. They came out in 2003, I think it was. I can't remember the name of the label, but they did finally come out with an LP on vinyl. Take a look at the. You can tell this is a reissue. Who reissued this one? Is this Osmos? Yeah, this is Osmos. Just like my LP. You can tell it doesn't have the red on the corners, like the graphic here at the corners are red in the original. I mean, another thing about metal is it's pretentious in times, and how can you not express some aspects of black metal better than a half decently drawn band logo, hand drawn on probably on some sort of piece of paper or something. And here's the band photo. Another great thing about black metal is when they're done right, their band photos are ridiculous. That's one of the things that again, with a lot of this music, you have to enjoy the often ridiculousness of it, like the aggressive sound. Like with black metal, it's like I said, the guitars and the drums, everything is like the distortion is turned up, so it sounds like somebody is like dragging the record across across the ground and then playing it. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Here's a recent, I think, 2018 pressing of the album from Osmos. Here's the back cover. I mean, I love this album. It's so cold, dark, and evil. Here's the interior. Hopefully you can see this. And here I got the fancy smancy color red. Look at that. Yes, and of course it has to be like that. Sorry guys. Let's see, so I will put that there. Listen to Brain Smasher, no reassembling records on camera. And here we go. Here are a couple. This incredible classic. This is the beginning of the heavy metal genre. This album here, and here's the follow-up, which actually came out the same year. They actually really, people reacted to this one so well that they came up with the rest of the songs. I guess I think that's the story. They had a whole bunch of songs that they wrote at the same time. So here, this is a Warner Brothers. This is a recent, copy of it. The interiors, and there's not much to talk about there. And ooh, wow. Basic Silver. Here's their second album, Paranoid. There it is, a crazy guy. This one, I think Paranoid, it was I can't remember what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to have another name, but people reacted so well to the song "Paranoid," which that song was written as an afterthought. They just kind of like threw it together, and like after they compiled the rest of the album, they just did this extra song, and everyone liked it, so it became the name. So the label wanted to make it the name of the album. And here, the story behind this, me acquiring this, is my dad, after he retired, he used to help out, clean out old, homes between moves. And sometimes he would find stuff, and I found this, or he found this. This is an original, 1970. Take a look. There's look at that. It's one of the Canadian ones. There's the interior. Ooh, there's the exterior. So trivia stuff. I mean, what can you say? You know, it goes from, you know, the title track, Black Sabbath. You know, the music is iconic. Pretty much every element of heavy metal came from you know, their first 3 albums. I don't have their third one, but I had their first 2. You know, Black Sabbath is a great song. Then there's like, it goes from like dark and scary to a wizard, called The Wizard, about, you know, a wizard, you know, spreading happiness when the wizard comes near, you know, stuff like that. That's really cute. Behind a Wall of Sleep is a good one. NIB, you know, you know, the last 3 tracks are okay, but like obviously, like the first side on this is really good. It's the best one. On Paranoid, obviously War Pigs, everyone knows that. That's a good one. Paranoid, short and sweet. Planet Caravan is okay. I think that was one of their first songs that they wrote when they came together as a band. Iron Man, you know, everyone is, you know, Iron Man is like it's that song that, you know, when you know, people who aren't metal fans have probably heard that, you know, like the closing credits song from the Iron Man movie, you know, I am Iron Man, you know, give me a break. But that is a great song, you know. Electric Funeral, you know, Hand of Doom is okay. Rat Salad is good. Like Fairies Wear Boots, oh man, that is one of the greatest, you know, rock metal instrumentals. That's amazing. Okay, so on to the next batch. German power metal masters, Blind Guardian. I only have a few of their albums. I should probably get some of their earlier ones. There is one that has a song on it that I used to share with my daughter when she was little. Lord of the Rings. She used to want me to pick her up and to dance around at the end of the song when the acoustic guitar got going. She loved that one. Like my daughter listened to a lot of the modern, you know, post-war anime music. But you know, she still has the fond memories of listening to heavy metal, and you know what, she used to love when I played Venom's Evil and the, you know the one I'm talking about, eh? And Turn Me Loose by Loverboy, you know, turn me loose, daddy, turn me loose. Well, anyway, here we go. Blind Guardian. Somewhere far beyond. Okay, I'm a little out of tune there. Here's the band photo. And in here you can see it has the this is the first two albums are that I have are were not yet printed in North America, so these are imports. So it has like the original, you know, order T-shirts, band T-shirts. If I would have one complaint about this album, is that the songs didn't seem like it just felt uneven. I don't mean between songs, but sometimes within the song, the song didn't really flow as evenly. They didn't feel cohesive. But, you know, still there's some great stuff on here, like, you know, Time, What Is Time? I mean, you know, Journey Through the Dark is a decent one. Then Lost in the Black Chamber. You know, that's a great example. You know, this band, you can really get a sense that English wasn't his first language. His grammar is fine, but it just seems that his English tradition prose skills are, you know, a little off. But, you know, again, it's metal, you know, deal with it. Not all heavy metal is written by, you know, like experts in one particular field. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on here. I recommend you. There's the back. There's the back of the album there. Now their second one, Imaginations from the Other. Okay, I don't know if I should be singing that on here. And there's the CD. Look, this time they went all out and got painting on the CD. One of the, you know, as you can see, that's like a, you know, that's like a D&D, you know, party right there, adventuring party. You know, there's like the wizard, the bard, a ghost. Okay, I love the art, the cover art on this one. This was a really good one. I love it. Yeah, you know, here's again, there's their band photo in here. Here's the band photo. And yeah, more. Now this time they had colorized ads inside. This one I liked a lot better. Everything seemed a little more like the songs seemed a little more organized. You know, it's got, you know, Imagination from the Other Side, the title track, Past and Future Secret. One of the things about Blind Guardian is they write a lot about, you know, Tolkien's work, you know, Lord of the Rings, that type of thing. And they also deal with like the romanticized European mythology, like King Arthur type of stuff. Let's see, Born in a Morning Hall, it's pretty good. Script for My Requiem, Another Holy War, and The Story Ends. You know, good stuff on this. What else can I say about this one? Yep, okay, now, this is the one that most people who got into Blind Guardian are the most familiar with, at least in North America. This is from '98, Nightfall on Middle Earth. I love that. Like that. This is a great album cover. You know, it's Melkor and Ang Band. And I like how they kind of like, you know, it's a pretty easy thing to do, I guess. Just cost a little extra in the printing. Took some images from the album art, decolorized it, and used it as a background instead of just basic white or black. It's nice. No band photo this time. Here's the back side. This was a concept album based on the Silmarillion part of the Silmarillion by Lovecraft, by J.R.R. Tolkien. The Silmarillion is the mythology of the elves of Middle Earth, you know, like, you know, from Lothlorien, Galadriel, and, you know, Legolas, all that type of stuff. Melkor, or who he is known, or who he is, was renamed as Morgoth, was actually heard his name on his name spoken during the Fellowship of the Ring movie, where Legolas is explaining what happened to Gandalf. You know, he was brought down by a Balrog of Morgoth, and sometimes you just like to say things like that, you know, Morgoth. Again, it's a metal influence, I suppose. Yeah, so this is about the story of the Silmarils. And the story of the Silmarils, basically, the king of the elves, the king of the Noldor elves, living on Valinor with all the archangels and angels, you know, the Maiar and the Valar, after the creation of the world. All living together, you know, the elves are learning everything they can from the Valar. You know, Valar are divine beings, basically archangels and angels. And one of the bad archangels, one of the bad Valar, this guy here, Melkor, or Morgoth, seduced and tricked Fëanor, king of the elves, by appealing to his pride, and got him to, you know, he had made out of there were these two trees that were the only light in the world, created by one of the Valar as an expression of beauty and love, because she was the Valar that was basically the one who looked after the plants. One of the trees was gold, one of them was silver. Fëanor took some of the petals, the shining, like almost divine light petals, and fashioned them into gems called the Silmarils. Well, Melkor tricked him, stole the Silmarils, you know, and destroyed the trees with the help of a giant spider, Ungoliant, the mother of all demonic spiders, and fled off to the other side of the world, to Middle Earth. So left Valinor to go to Middle Earth, where his evil temple, his evil cave and mansion was, in Angband. And the story is about how you should really get this album. It's awesome. It's a masterwork of power metal. You know, like not quite overdoing it as with their next few albums, with, you know, like 50 tracks for vocals. But really, really good. You really get a sense of what they love about these types of stories. You know, the fighting, like fighting against impossible odds, having a cause. You know, you know, there is a tragic beauty to the story of the elves, the story of the Noldoran elves, as is told in the Silmarillion through this album, Nightfall on Middle Earth. Now, I hesitate to mention this guy. This band, Burzum, is a one-man show. This is one of the first bands that I got into, but fortunately I only bought 2 of his albums, because you know, this is atmospheric black metal, another form, my preferred, honestly, my preferred form of black metal. Where it's like all about like longing for a forgotten past. This guy is evil. He actually is a bad guy. So don't buy his albums. He's actually a Viking terrorist. You know, not even kidding. You know, he just hates all non-Viking religions, specifically Christianity and Judaism. You know, you know, I can understand being angry and disappointed in religions, but this guy, he hates them. So this is not a good guy, but I could not mention it. And besides, the little thing, the name of the band, Burzum. Here's one of the funny things about some satanic black metal bands. They often take their names from proper names in the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. There's a band called Angband. I haven't heard them, but there's a band called Angband, and that's where Melkor lives. You know, basically the devil of the world of Middle Earth, the great adversary, the enemy, as he was renamed Morgoth by Fëanor after the betrayal and theft of the Silmarils. And J.R.R. Tolkien was a devout Catholic, and the Lord of the Rings story, if anything, really illustrates how he understands, what he believes is kind of the way the world, the way God's world is. People, people have to find their own strength and do things for themselves, to create, to I guess create the story of the world. But God, like in Tolkien's line, in Tolkien's mind, when things are, when it's really important, God will always come in. The story of Frodo carrying the ring. I mean, you saw what it did to Bilbo. You saw what it almost did to Boromir. Just being in proximity to it drove him mad. And Frodo carried that for like almost a year. And there was no way. The thing is, there is no one strong enough to resist the power of the ring when, if they've had it for very long. Isildur, one of the greatest of man, of humanity. He fell to the influence of the ring, of the One Ring, the ruling ring, one ring to rule them all. Frodo had really, right from the beginning, Frodo had no chance. There was no hope for Frodo to resist the ring. But because he showed mercy to Gollum, to Smeagol, Smeagol was there. And Smeagol wasn't there at the end to make him feel good. Smeagol was in the right place at the right time, and he betrayed Frodo and bit off the ring and fell into it and destroyed it forever. It was an accident. And it was an accident. Tolkien wrote it as, this is how God acts sometimes. So, yeah, I think I've got everything. Yeah. So, I really like metal. I love blues and jazz, bebop jazz most especially. But that's a few of my, let's see, can I come up with something as a bonus? A little bonus bit at the end. Here, how about this? An original Battlestar Galactica spiral notebook. I had this when I was a kid. And, oh, look at that. Look what that's my dog. I was a big fan of Benji when I was a kid. But other than that, there's actually nothing written in it. It's completely unused. I wouldn't say it's mint. Oh, there's what we paid for it back in probably 1979 or 1980. But there. So, if you like that type of stuff, like all the, like this stuff, give me a like. Share if you want. Tell your friends. Leave a comment. Like to hear from you. A bientôt.